The left will try to convince you that these are people that are going to go to Harvard and save the world. No. If the dude is jumping on top of the coffee stand and pretending he's a squid and going and then running through the mall and pounding tables and like, no, the dude is not going to Harvard. Well, you never know. That's probably what Harvard wants today. Walk around. This is South Florida. You know, go get a coffee at the mall, go to the sales section. But the mall is like a disaster. The mall is making San Francisco look normal. There are, and I know like the left and the people who like don't like my videos are going to come at me and be like,
they're Harvard students, okay? These are people that are going to change the world now.
There are dozens and dozens and dozens of newcomers walking around the mall, many of which are extremely unwell. There was legit a guy in the mall. He jumped up on top of the coffee barista stand where you get your coffee, jumped on top of the coffee stand. And you know that character in Monsters, Inc., that character that's like a squid? He goes,
so this dude does that.
It has been a very strange last day. So yesterday I got home from work. So we get home, we get in the elevator, and there's this man and his like 3-year-old daughter, and they're in the elevator. He holds the elevator door for us. We say thank you and we get in. He says to his 3-year-old daughter, who's not comprehending anything, you know, we'll call her Bernice. Her name was not Bernice. You know, Bernice, sometimes we are suspicious of people. And immediately I thought that was weird. And then he goes with this weird grin like this towards my dad. He's like, I've never seen you here before, and I've been here 9 years. It's like, do you harass every single person that comes in and out of this building? Like it was deranged. Like, I don't know if this is being influenced by the current political tension in the world right now or where this is coming from or people's expenses. Obviously, stress and all those things can affect someone's disposition. If you're normally not well, maybe it makes you more unwell. So today's my day off, and normally I would go to the mall, walk around. This is South Florida. You know, go get a coffee at the mall, go to the sales section. But the mall is like a disaster. The mall is making San Francisco look normal, okay? Because like, I am not joking. There are, and I know like the left and the people who like don't like my videos are gonna come at me and be like, they're Harvard students, okay? These are people that are gonna change the world. No, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of newcomers walking around the mall, many of which are extremely unwell. There was legit a guy in the mall. He jumped up on top of the coffee barista stand where you get your coffee, jumped on top of the coffee stand. And you know that character in Monsters, Inc.? The dude jumped up on top of the coffee stand and he did that thing from Monsters, Inc., that character that's like a squid. He goes, so this dude does that. Security immediately came from the store that was attached to the coffee shop. Then, like, I think the police were called and like, they ran through the mall. Was seen a couple of other times throughout the mall. That's when my dad was able to catch some footage of him. And like, I'm probably not going to show the footage in this video, but this dude is like nuts. I don't even think he's on anything. I think he's just extremely mentally ill. And this is what has come here. Okay. Again, the left will try to convince you that these are people that are going to go to Harvard and save the world. No. If the dude is jumping on top of the coffee stand and pretending he's a squid and going and then running through the mall and pounding tables and like, no, the dude is not going to Harvard. Well, you never know. That's probably what Harvard wants today. But like, there's newcomers who like, I don't even know how they got a bike into the mall, but like rode a bike through the mall, got very close to people. There was a guy who was like a big guy. He walked by a woman and then all of a sudden he went like this with his arm and he like slapped her in the shoulder, and she turns around like, why did you do that? It's like, because these people are nuts out of their mind, and you've been gaslit to be thinking that if you say these people are off, that makes you a bad person. But like, I have literally watched, you used to be able to walk around that mall, no problem here in South Florida, but this mall is now consistent with San Francisco and everything else that's happening. There are at least 100 new friends walking around this mall every day, and there are at least probably 5 to 10 new friends that arrive in the mall each day who you may not see every day, but you're spotting as new. Some are definitely like opportunists, you know, maybe they're looking to like grab your bag or something like that, or like follow you or something. But there are a good percentage walking around the mall that are like the guy who we will call Squid. Okay, I mean, these people are just insane. They were obviously let out of some mental asylum in another country, and like, I don't know, they were like, hey, South Florida is a good place to go. It's tropical. But okay, if you're gonna come in my comments and be like, I'm sure he's a lovely squid, you know, maybe he's just expressing himself, maybe he wants to be a lyrical dancer. Okay, no, okay, the dude is not going to Juilliard. Okay, he thought he was I don't even know if he thought he was a squid, but that's what he was doing. It was like that thing from Monsters Inc. Yeah, I don't even want to do that again. But yeah. So the mall is becoming such a disaster that I do not want to go there if I do not have to go there. Does that make sense? In my car, yes, I know it's messy. But I do not want to go there if I do not have to go there. It's no longer fun going because it's become an obstacle course. You're literally walking and having to try to avoid people every second.
With the crime rate.
Apparently Aventura's crime rate is actually really bad if you look it up, which is surprising for such a luxury area that's being advertised that way. But you cannot, in other words, just freely walk through the mall and mind your own business. If you are not constantly looking behind your shoulder, you're gonna have someone slam into you who is a newcomer. Like, it's literally feels like an obstacle course. You probably, if you walked for 20 minutes, you will have to do evasive maneuvers to try to avoid someone who wants to bang into you or knock into you. You probably have to avoid someone like 2 different times. Like, hey, see that person, we got to go the other way. Or we have to speed up and try to avoid them. They're coming at us. There was literally another guy who was speed walking through the food court, just making circles, like going in and out, in and out, in and out. Speed walking really fast, trying to basically slam into people, slam into the elderly. And so you can't just walk there. You can't just walk there holding your food, because how is that fun? How is that a relaxing day? Hey, let's go to the mall and walk around and get a coffee. Why? So I can enjoy a nice obstacle course, avoid the squid during the day. So yeah. So I'm just gonna like stick around Sunny Isles now. Sunny Isles is actually safer than Aventura, which is interesting. We got our own stuff here, but our stuff in Sunny Isles is more like out of the 80s. That's for another video. Yeah, just gonna stick around Sunny Isles because Sunny Isles is ironically safer. Other day though, in Sunny Isles, there was a man walking in Sunny Isles. He had what looked like a sled. The sled was piled high, 20 feet in the air, probably not 20 feet in the air, but like very, very high, like a giant mountain of his personal belongings. This man had 7 or 8 German shepherds, what appeared to be attached to the sled, pulling his stuff down the street with 8 German shepherds walking down the street. There were people stopping on the street. They were afraid to pass him because the dogs looked rabid. I have not seen him again. I don't know if the police are called. I don't know, but the man had 8 German shepherds attached to his belongings walking down the street in Sunny Isles. That's what this has become. In Sunny Isles. I've had comments on my channel from the liberals going, don't you know that this country is built on immigrants? Yes, but it's not built on the squid. The squid that's jumping on top of the counter is not going to Harvard to become a research scientist. That is not happening. Okay, and there's this gaslighting happening where they are trying to tell you, yes, he is. He's going to Harvard. And I don't know, but you got a lot of institutions today like Harvard that they're not exactly accepting the best. I've seen plenty of footage where they go up to young people going to Harvard and the student goes, I don't have an opinion. I just don't. I don't have an opinion. You go to any school here, Miami-Dade College, which is not Harvard, people have an opinion. Finally are done with some of our errands, like how to make a deposit so I can pay my bills. And now I'm just gonna head into Starbucks because I don't want to go to the mall and play obstacle course of avoid the psycho that's chasing me down a corridor of the mall. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to be told that that's normal. It's obviously not normal. And I'd rather go into the Starbucks here, which also has people like that showing up, but it seems to be a little more controlled here. So we are at the Starbucks, me on the dada, and I'm trying a new sandwich. See how enjoyable this is? I'm at Starbucks and I'm not like running for my life down the hall as Mr. Squid chases me, or a man on bike chases me through the mall. I can just sit here and have a peaceful day out because running from Mr. Squid is not fun anymore. Behold, a new sandwich. What were you saying? What were you saying? What were you saying? Speak.
I was going to say that according to the site Neighborhood Scout, the crime difference between here and Aventura is tremendous.
Sandwich. So I finished my lunch at Starbucks, and although it's been a very calm and some would say boring day, it's been peaceful because I didn't go to the mall and have to run in circles. It was exhausting, and it's getting worse, and it's gotten a lot worse. I remember maybe 3-4 months ago when it started to become a problem, and I said to myself, is it going to get bad here in South Florida? Is it going to start being like what's happening in San Francisco here? And I didn't want to believe it, and it's gotten really bad over the last 2 months, and then over the last 2-3 weeks it's become like now pretty common that you're walking through the mall, you go a couple feet, you have to avoid someone, then you see someone coming, they're flapping their hand, then you go another 10 minutes walking through the mall, now you have to walk in zigzags and try to get away from someone, and it doesn't make you a bad person to be aware of your surroundings. What's funny is I'm just grocery shopping here in Sunny Isles. I actually saw one of my coworkers doing the same thing. They went to the beach, they're walking around this little grocery store. They're sure as hell not going over to the mall and playing ring around, run this way, run that way to avoid the newcomer that's coming. And everyone's doing the same thing if you're smart, just staying low and hanging out in the place you live, and hopefully that's not Aventura. And just taking it easy, because even like you look at the crime statistics of like whatever that Neighborhood Scout or whatever, Aventura is known as like not the best, which is kind of interesting since it was supposed to be, luxury. So I have just left the Great Malams. It's been a very peaceful day. I mean, the most annoying thing of the day is that I was just at Malams and they tried to charge me $7 for 3 cucumbers, and then it took a few minutes to get it corrected. But that's a common thing here at Malams. Publix, the common thing is misleading. In other words, they'll put a price and it's in the wrong place, and it tricks you into purchasing for the wrong amount, or you purchase the wrong product because it was near it. That's very common at Publix. At Malams, that actually always happens with the cucumber. I feel like often with the cucumbers, they will tell you the cucumber is $10. I don't know, it must be a very special cucumber. But it's been a good day overall. I haven't had to leap through the air as much. So it's been a pretty peaceful day. My day off, just learning to take it easy, learning that I don't need to do so much to have a good day off. I'll have to do another building update, but as of now, my building pool is still condemned. They sent out a newsletter telling the owners and the residents that everything's fine with the pool. We're just waiting for sign off from the city, which I do not believe, because we had actually reached out to the state, and the state said that there's a lot of issues with the pool. And so it's still closed. I'll show you a quick image of that if I could remember to. But yeah. Okay. Next image will probably be me at home. So now we are headed home. We're turning down our street.
He had an electric skateboard and covered in sand.
Covered in sand. It's like, yes, I live here. And all of this beauty. Look at this beauty right here. I'm trying to sneak into all of this right here. As you can see, we are entering luxury. Look at the beautiful building. Okay, I'm entering all of this and the pool that's condemned.
Show him the
so
pool.
If he's implying that I wanted to sneak into all
show
of
him
this,
the
you
pool,
are damn right I
and
did.
show him the taco restaurant.
Yep. Here in the wilds of Sunny Isles Beach, you approach the habitat of the pool. The pool is inhabited by lizards, sometimes the occasional iguana. The habitat is currently closed to the general human. Here you can see the habitat
And the water.
closed. No water appears to be in the habitat, but the habitat makes a good area for the lingering iguana to associate itself in the pool. Behold the habitat. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you all. And make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, because in any way that you comment, it helps my video. So thanks so much for being here, and I will see you soon in my next video. And bye! Again, the habitat.